Happy New Year. Welcome back. Happy 2023. My name is Sharon and I am a busy mom that is so happy to have you here. So in today's episode, we're going to be chatting about how to plan your year. This is one of my favorite times of year. I live in New England, so it's winter, all the cozy vibes, and I love thinking about kind of the year ahead. It feels like a blank canvas stretching in front of us, and I try to be really meaningful with this time. I do take my time. I am not like the January 1st, you have to have all your goals established for the year. I like to really take the whole month of January to sort of work through the process that I'm going to share with you today. So just keep that in mind as we are walking through it. So the first thing that I do when at the beginning of the year is I do an annual review, and I have a whole episode about this. It's episode 26. If you didn't have a chance to check that out, I would highly recommend watching that first. And in that annual review, I really reflect on the prior year. So that's where I am reflecting on 2022. But that's not the whole process. The second half of the process, arguably probably even the best part of the process, is thinking ahead. So thinking ahead to 2023 and what it is that I want to accomplish in that year. And that's going to be our focus for today. So the first thing that I do when I'm thinking about the year ahead is I create a list of things that I want to be true on December 31st, 2023. Who do I want to be? What do I want to have accomplished? I write that list in the present tense as if it has already happened. So I read 150 books this year. My book was published on September 1st this year. Get as specific as you possibly can. And again, I love putting it in that present tense because it prepares your mind, it primes your mind for this is happening, this is going to happen. I think about all facets of my life there. I think about my business, my family, my personal growth, all of those things. And it's usually a pretty hefty list. It's usually an entire notebook page. And I do also like to keep it in my notebook so that I have it to look back on when I'm doing my quarterly reviews throughout the year. The next thing that I do after I've created kind of that vision of what I want the end of 2023 to look like is I create my specific yearly goals. And again, I use Power Sheets for that. 2022 was my first year doing that. I have a whole episode 25, about how I use Power Sheets in 2022, so you can check that out. But it's basically helps me break down the year ahead, thinking about what I want to accomplish, turning that vision into an action plan, really. So from there, I use kind of the Power Sheets to break down family goals and business goals. I do combine those. When I look at my goals, I'm really thinking about myself as a whole person and all the different aspects of my life. So I do work with my husband to create and fine-tune family goals, but I'm usually the initiator of those. Like, hey, here's kind of my rough plan. Here's what I came up with. What do you think? And then creating sort of those personal goals, things that I want to accomplish for myself throughout the year. And then finally, like I mentioned, I do include some business goals. It's sort of like the bonus. If you work, that may be something that you think about including in your goal setting process as well, thinking about those more specific goals going ahead. So on the podcast this week, I'm going to be sharing the draft of the goals that I have for 2023 so far. They're not finalized because, like I said, it usually takes me the entire month of January to kind of perfect them, if you will. So I will be sharing those over on the podcast, and just so you get kind of behind the scenes of that process. And then next week, episode 34 is going to be about my 5 favorite personal growth books for busy moms. I had a friend say to me the other day that she won't pick up a personal growth book if the person is not a mom. She's like, if you don't know what's going on, I don't want to hear from you. And it's so true. So these books really hit home for moms. And I have you in mind with these recommendations. So if you're looking to add some personal growth activities to your goal list for this year, you definitely want to check out that episode. Finally, if you want some personal growth delivered straight to your inbox that is specific for busy moms, you can subscribe to my mailing list linked in the show notes. Every week I send out a very short sort of mini newsletter that has a 2-minute action step for you to implement right away to hit the ground running with your personal growth journey. If you'd like to follow along between episodes, you can find me on Instagram at SharonLegere Coaching and on my website, SharonLegereCoaching.com, where you can find on some of the services that I offer. Thanks so much for being here, Mama. Have a great day.